What's up, Raptors fans? Welcome to the Warriors Report. We have some more news regarding the Toronto Raptors, and this was tweeted out by a very legitimate source, and Adrian Wojnarowski, and that was that the Raptors are waiving Drew Eubanks. Sources tell ESPN he arrived from the Spurs in trade today. Now, obviously, acquiring Drew Eubanks and Thaddeus Young, the Raptors had a lot of, obviously, logjam at the power forward / center position. I don't know, whatever you want to call him. He's listed as a forward / center. But the Raptors essentially free up now one roster spot. There's been a lot of chatter. Maybe they'll convert Justin Champagnie's 2-way contract into a guaranteed contract. And then they're having players like Moses Brown, who was waived by the Dallas Mavericks after that Kristaps Porzingis trade. And the Houston Rockets also waived Enes Freedom, a.k.a. Enes Kanter. Now, obviously, personally, I wouldn't want the Raptors to sign him. We'll leave that up to the Raptors. But obviously, Drew Eubanks was a decent piece. I wasn't against the idea of waiving him, but I would have liked to keep him just because I feel like he would have been a decent player for the Raptors, young player. I know his stats don't really jump out at you when you look at his stats, only 4.7 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. He was doing that in limited minutes. Now, obviously, the issue was that he can't stretch the floor at all, like Thaddeus Young, so perhaps the Raptors management viewed it as in, we have a lot of forwards / centers already in Khem Birch, Precious Achiuwa, Chris Boucher, and now Thaddeus Young, who can play the power forward position as well. And then having Drew Eubanks would just be very crowded in the front court that already has their starting lineup of Pascal and Scotty Barnes. Now, the more you look at this trade, I think it just looks worse and worse because the Raptors essentially gave up Goran Dragic, moved down 10 roster spots, not roster spots, but draft spots to acquire Detroit Pistons' second-round pick. They gave up their own first-round pick for 30 games or so of Thaddeus Young, and maybe obviously the playoffs included as well. But personally, I wasn't big on the trade to begin with. I think there could have been other deals to be had. And I understand people are going to say, well, you're not Masai Ujiri and have faith in Masai Ujiri, which is understandable. And I absolutely get that. I mean, you obviously can question Masai Ujiri. It's one thing to hate on a management, but it's another to constructively criticize them, right? I've always been a fan of our management. I think they're excellent in what they do. And we'll have to wait and see what type of player the Raptors pick up. They're a little bit thin in the backcourt, but personally, I would have been okay with keeping Eubanks. I personally would have waived someone like a Sweet Mihailuk. I mean, Eubanks was only making 1.7, 1.9 million. Again, I'll leave that up to the management. Obviously, they know what they're doing, and they probably have some players in mind in terms of who they want to target in the buyout market as well. So this creates an extra roster spot. So we'll have to wait and see. There's obviously been a lot of chatter as to who they could potentially take from the buyout market. I won't make any speculations, but I don't know about this trade, guys. It just, I mean, when you take a look at, for those of you who may have missed my last video of breaking down the entire trade, it just looks worse and worse, right? I understand that the Raptors have a great developmental system, and it may not be a huge difference of dropping down 10 roster spots, but I feel like there's some other trades out there that we heard about regarding Goran Dragic, right? There's some potential deals about Jusuf Nurkic being talked about. There's other deals involving the New York Knicks and the Lakers. I personally think the Raptors could have gotten a little bit better. But like I've always said, guys, there's a reason why I am a YouTuber and not working for the Raptors management. We can criticize them all we want. We'll have to wait and see what the Raptors do. Again, I mean, I understand where they're coming from. Just because of the logjam we had at our forward position, it didn't make a lot of sense to have 5 guys essentially come off the bench that aren't known for stretching the floor at all, except for Chris Boucher, and even he's having a down year. So I'm okay with this. Again, I just don't understand the deal in its entirety. I really do like Thad Young. Don't get me wrong. He's a solid player. He's that bench player we can finally rely on rather than playing a 7-man rotation. So I'm personally excited about him. He's a very high IQ player, great defensive player. So I'm personally excited about Thad Young. But again, I'm not overly excited about the entire deal we made. I think we could have tried to make a few more moves, but it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Have faith in the management. We'll have to wait and see what the Raptors do in the buyout market. But I do want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think of this entire trade deadline? How would you grade it for the Raptors? And what do you think of this move? And who would you like the Raptors to pick up in the buyout market? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And that will be it for today's video, guys. So thank you so much for watching. And I hope you guys have yourselves a great day.